want to talk about these opportunity zones, okay? That's a government program which I believe is very successful. I'm told it is. It moves money into disadvantaged areas. The man in charge of that program is HUD Secretary Ben Carson, who joins us now. Mr. Secretary, you've been on this program before, and you've told us that you have moved jobs and money into these disadvantaged areas. But my point is, I never hear about it. And you get lousy, you don't get any press at all. How do you explain that?
Because it's good news. Nobody wants to talk about good news. But the fact of the matter is, these opportunity zones present an opportunity for people who have experienced tremendous economic advantages to now put that into these places that have traditionally been neglected. Okay. And there's no reason that they wouldn't continue to be neglected, except that now we have this long-term incentive to invest in them and make sure that they're successful.
Now, can you quantify this success? Can you say how many jobs were created? How much money flowed in? Can you do that?
Well, we expect at least $100 billion in the first year. And you know, some of the opportunity funds have already had commitments of, $24 billion. And it's coming in tremendously. I've been to a number of places and looked at the development that's going on there. I was in St. Louis recently. An old abandoned foundry was the nidus for the development. There was a lot of heavy equipment there. They're building entertainment, they're building affordable housing, they're building grocery areas. All of these things are multiplying very quickly. Another area that I went to in Mississippi, they were building housing for the people who are coming in there for the jobs. So it's a domino effect that's occurring. And interestingly enough, we are finding ways to incentivize people. The President's Opportunity and Revitalization Council and the FHA is announcing today that we have a new incentive package coming out which will encourage multifamily owners to invest in developments within the opportunity zones because they will get a reduction in their application fees, also known as the exam fees, which will be substantial.
Mr. Secretary, here's something contentious, and I think it will get a lot of media coverage. Your department's looking into ways of getting illegal immigrants out of public housing. I believe you're looking at that. It is contentious. How are you going to do it?
Well, first of all, we have a long list of people. We can only serve right now 1 in 4 of the people who are looking for assistance from the government. And I'm talking about legitimate American citizens. So obviously we want to get those people taken care of. And we also want to abide by the laws. Now, if we want to have laws that say we take care of people who are not American citizens, then the legislators need to get together and they need to go ahead and make that law. But until that time, we need to abide by the laws of the land.
Mr. Secretary Ben Carson, thanks for joining us, sir. Always good to have you on.
Thank you.
Come and tell us the good news again, okay? Ben Carson, thank you very much indeed.